tonight on the Final Play.
Ted Ginn Jr. reverses his field, and now he's got room. Going to his right, he's beyond the 40, beyond the 45, beyond midfield.
And too high, intercepted.
I thought there were a handful of things we did well.
The Saints defense continues to dominate while the offense tunes up their attack. We're analyzing the team's progress with just one preseason game left. Plus, it's game week for college football. See how new coordinator Matt Canada is shaping LSU's offense. And Nicholls coach Tim Rebowe stops by the studio to talk about his Colonels. And we'll preview the high school football season, which is set to kick off this week.
From Fox 8 Sports, this is the Final Play, sponsored by your Southern Quality Ford dealer, built Ford tough, and Nissan, innovation that excites.
Welcome into the Final Play. I'm Juan Kincaid, and it's important to pump the brakes on a team's performance in the preseason. But it's also somewhat okay to get excited about how the Saints have won back-to-back preseason games. First time they've done that since 2014. That year, the Saints won 3 of 4 preseason games, but failed to make the playoffs. So it's important to take these wins with a grain of salt. But there was a lot to like and even more to learn from last night's win against Houston. Here's Sean Fazan.
3rd and 9. Breeze on the money again to the 30-yard line.
The third and most important preseason game is now complete. For the Saints, it was a chance to see their prominent players play prominent snaps. Drew Brees, Adrian Peterson, Mark Ingram, and Cam Jordan all played a significant amount of time. In Brees' case, it was more than most expected. Despite not having Max Unger or Ryan Ramczyk available, Brees was on the field for 26 plays, nearly the entire first half. He went 11 of 15 for 76 yards, but the unit as a whole only produced 3 points.
The first 3 drives, we had opportunities, certainly. And then, the next 2 just, came up a little bit short to sustain those drives. But, all in all, I thought it was all right. There's definitely some things that we can clean up.
The most significant contribution from the first team offense came from Ted Ginn Jr. After an inconsistent camp, Ginn flashed his big play ability. He took the opening handoff 24 yards on an end around and caught a wide receiver screen and made plenty of Texans miss en route to a first down.
They called my number, man. I'm just trying to show my team that I can still play in this league, and I can still do what I can do.
Defensively, their effort was once again outstanding, with no points allowed for a second straight week. But perhaps as important, Saturday's game revealed a few clues as to where the Saints are with their depth chart. P.J. Williams and Marshawn Lattimore were the first-team cornerbacks. First-team linebackers were A.J. Klein at the mic and Alex Anzalone at the wheel, with Kenny Vaccaro as the third safety or hybrid linebacker in their heavy nickel package. When they were in a 2-safety set, Marcus Williams got the majority of the first-team reps over Von Bell.
They're playing with a lot of confidence. I think they're really finding their bread and butter and the things that they're really good at. Obviously, they've put a lot of time and effort into the installation and coaching the technique, and I think we got some guys now that a couple years in the system that are more comfortable. So I think it's a combination of all those things.
First you heard him, now you see him. Sean Fazan joins us here on the Final Play to talk about this football game last night. Only 3 points from the starting offense. No time for panic on that, but what does that tell you?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Drew Brees played 26 snaps, as you heard in the piece, which was more than we thought he was going to play. But if you watched him, a lot of handoffs, a lot of quick drops, a lot of wide receiver screens. I mean, look, they knew they did not have their offensive line intact. They also knew that was a very good front seven. They didn't necessarily game plan. The offense is going to be fine. It was their first game out. So I think the offense, despite only 3 points, they had some decent drives put together. They're going to be just fine.
The lack of offense didn't help Adrian Peterson. He finally got on the football field. First time he's played in a preseason game in, 6 years? Your assessment of how he played, and smart move for the Saints to get him on the field?
I think it was, because remember, this isn't Minnesota. He's not the focal point of the offense where he didn't necessarily have to have the preseason. You want to preserve him in that regard. With this, you're 32 years old. So you kind of got to see what that body still has left be. He is a contact runner who does well when he's kind of hitting, kind of bouncing off defenders. He had opportunities to do that last night. Couldn't quite break one. I thought it was okay. I mean, it certainly didn't set the world on fire. But I think to be determined when it comes to Adrian Peterson. He's flashed a little bit in practice these last couple of weeks, First game was the first game.
On the other side of the ball, the defense continues to play what we think maybe above themselves. 16 sacks in 3 games tells you there's better pressure on the quarterback. But what's the real thing we're seeing here with this team against 3 quarterbacks that aren't going to blow up the room?
Look, what I'm buying right now with the Saints defense is simple. The linebackers. The linebackers are better. There's better personnel, and there's better coaching. I'm also buying Dennis Allen. I like the way he is being creative with his personnel. You see different formations. He's tinkering with the lineups. I trust Dennis Allen with this personnel to do well, especially with the linebackers. Now, what we still need to be determined is exactly what you said. That's 3 very weak quarterbacks. You had Brock Osweiler, you had Kellen Clemens, and last night you had Tom Savage, which rolled into Deshaun Watson. Plus, I'm not quite there yet with the pass rush. It has improved, but it's not there yet. And if the pass rush isn't there, is the secondary better? We don't know. So that's what I'm holding off on right now.
So based on that, 16 sacks in 3 games, will they have more sacks in the preseason this year with 1 more game to go than they do the halfway point of the regular season?
That's a great question. You'd hope so, but 16 through 8 games is not bad.
Yeah.
That's an average of 2 a game. And look, they had a lot of good sack numbers, but if you really watch that, well, some of that was, as Sean Payton said, pressure looks. And again, it wasn't exactly against top-notch quarterback play. So over, under 16 at the 8-game mark, I'm going to say they're going to be over because what I like is Cam Jordan's still Cam Jordan, and I think Alex Okafor and Haoli Kikaha form a nice little duo there to kind of, you kind of mix up reps, and you can do a lot of things with those guys. So I think they're going to be better than people realize. I'm just not quite there yet with the pass rush.
You're not expecting to see hardly any of the starters, if any at all, playing in this final preseason game. It's reserved for players trying to make this final 53-man roster, which will be decided next week. Give me a player that can play himself into that 53.
The biggest to me is Adam Bighill. Now, he is slowly but surely, each week, all of a sudden, oh, there's 99. There's 99. There's 99. And all of a sudden now, especially with Nate Stupar, who has some sort of injury, we don't know how long he's going to be out. He left the game early. So he has a chance, if they keep 7 linebackers, to maybe sneak on the roster as a special teams guy. He keeps showing up, and all you can ask for a guy like that is when he's in the game, does he make plays? And he seems to be around the ball a lot. So Adam Bighill is the #1 player I'm watching for next week who could play his way onto the roster.
We wonder if winning can carry over. Look, we went about 3 years without getting a preseason win. Now they put back-to-back wins together. Can the winning in the preseason carry over to the regular season? Sean's been emphasizing since last year at the Greenbrier, let's try to win every game we can.
I think last year that was sort of the message. Let's get into a competitive environment. Let's win every drill. Let's win every play. Let's win every game, regardless of the preseason. I don't think it hurts. I mean, look, you'd rather win a game than lose a game. That's always the objective of every time you step onto the field. So I don't think it hurts. Will it translate to, 2-2 in the preseason? Does that mean 8-8 in the regular season? Who knows? But I don't think it hurts. And I think you want to see guys finish, and they've been able to finish these last couple of weeks. So that's certainly an encouraging sign. I don't know what it's going to mean once the games start, but still, it's a good sign.
Last time the team had a winning record in the preseason, 2014, they were 3-1. They didn't make the playoffs that year, but we shall see. Sean, thank you.
Thank you.
And it's a short week for the Saints. Their final preseason game will be this Thursday night against the Baltimore Ravens. This will be the 4th straight season in which the Saints and Ravens have played one another. Our pregame show begins at 6:30, followed by kickoff at 7. All of that right here on Fox 8. Up next on the final play, is it too early to think Dome Patrol Part 2 with the Saints defense? Probably, but that side of the ball has been a beast. Chris Hagen will take a closer look, and later we head to campus as college football's season gets set to kick off this week.
You're watching The Final Play.
Even though it's preseason, 16 sacks in 3 games, nothing to sneeze at. The fact that the Saints have gotten to the quarterback that many times is a sign that their many offseason moves to upgrade appear to have worked. Chris Hagen takes a look back at last night's defensive effort against the Texans and ahead to what they hope comes next.
While it's still considered dress rehearsal football, the actions of the Saints defense speak louder than the term preseason. Back-to-back outings without giving up any points to the opposing offense is no fluke. It starts with constant pressure on the quarterback.
Sometimes it came from a pressure look. Sometimes it came from a 4-man rush. It's always going to help your back end if you're getting that type of pressure. It's something again that we're constantly working on, and ultimately when the season starts, that's going to be, it's going to be important.
It felt great. Of course, anytime you can stop a team from scoring at all, that's huge. And they were within striking distance, but, situation wasn't for them just to kick a field goal. And I think our defense showed up when they needed to.
When everybody coming together playing for each other, the D-line playing they bust off, and getting pressure on the quarterbacks, it makes our job even easier.
And that's the key ingredient. The front seven working to make life easier on a secondary that's seen a rough 2 years. While there's no denying how well Cam Jordan and Sheldon Rankins played, you can't help but pinpoint linebacker as the most improved area in both coverage and playmaking in the backfield.
I'm sure you guys can tell we have a really close linebacker group, like you said, and we have a really good group of guys, and I think it helps us moving forward, onto the regular season and beyond that.
All in all, it begs the question, has this defense finally turned a corner and become a unit that the black and gold can rely on?
It's early, still preseason, it's live bullets, but, it's not live bullets, so to speak. So, inside I want to say yes, but it's early. I'll continue to let our play do the talking, when we get into the season.
As for Thursday night's preseason finale against the Ravens, we don't expect to see the starters on either side of the ball. But again, for the defense, that's just fine. They've proven at the very least that they do have the potential to take a big step forward from last season. Reporting on the Saints, I'm Chris Hagen for the Final Play.
We know you want to get involved, so make your voice heard. Download the Final Play app, scroll to the Your Final Word tab, and submit a question for Curtis Lofton to answer. You can also use the hashtag AskCeelo on Twitter. Still ahead on the Final Play, LSU's season opening opponent has been set in stone for months. But could the location of their game against BYU be changed because of the flooding in Houston? We'll have an update, and we'll check in on Nicholls State. Their head coach, Tim Rebowe, stops by to talk about his Colonels. That's next.
You're watching the Final Play.
Sometime over the next 48 hours, LSU and BYU expect to know where their season opener will kick off from. It was planned for Houston's NRG Stadium, but rising floodwaters from Hurricane Harvey may force a change, and that change could be the Mercedes-Benz Superdome, which has let Houston organizers know that they are available to host. In the meantime, the Tigers continue forward with the things they can control, like giving senior Danny Etling the start at quarterback. Truth be told, it was always his job to lose, but he was pushed along the way. Here's Garland Gillen.
We made a decision to announce Danny as our starting quarterback.
And with that announcement, the quarterback derby was officially over at LSU. Danny Etling is the starter for Brigham Young, but we still don't know what the offense he controls looks like.
It's coming along right where we want it to be. I'm probably not going to give it to you right now before we play a game, but we're where we want to be. I mean, I think we're looking for those things that coach has talked about. We're looking to stress the defense, both horizontally and vertically. We're looking to be a physical offense that runs the football. We're looking to be an offense that, if you take away the run, can make passes and make plays down the field. So those are the things we're looking to do. We're going to work very, very hard to do that. So I feel like our identity's coming along, but we're excited to reveal that here in a couple weeks.
Ogeron also pointed out in the same presser that Miles Brennan finished a close second in the race to start for the Tigers. The true freshman only hit campus in early June, but he's already made an impression on his new OC.
Miles has gotten better every week. I think you look at that, we had a half scrimmage there that first week, but then really got after it pretty good the second week. And Miles, first time in Tiger Stadium, and obviously how awesome is it to get to play in Tiger Stadium? And he had big eyes. He made some plays, probably missed some plays. I thought he made a tremendous jump Saturday with his play. He looks calmer. He looks more in charge of the offense, and that's what you would expect. I mean, his curve's going faster because he's just getting started.
If the QBs ever get in trouble, they can always lean on do-everything running back Darius Geis and the improved play of John Ehret alum Darrell Williams.
Darrell he's such a great player. He does everything we ask. He runs the ball, he catches, he protects. He's open, he's on special teams. I mean, I can't say enough about him. I'm leading his fan club right now.
Brennan might not be the only true freshman seeing work at quarterback this season for LSU. Lowell Narcisse could see the field thanks to his one-of-a-kind ability running the ball.
Covering LSU, Garland Gillen for the Final Play.
First from the boot on the field this week will be the Colonels of Nicholls State. They host McNeese State on the 31st. September 2nd has a bunch of local teams in action, including the Lions of Southeastern at ULL. Tulane welcomes Grambling State uptown. And as of right now, LSU and BYU are scheduled for Houston's NRG Stadium. We'll keep you posted on that. Meanwhile, Southern, they battle South Carolina State to open the season. The college football season begins at the end of the month for this young man right here, Tim Rebowe, head coach at Nicholls State University. Look, I know that almost winning last year at Georgia, finishing with a winning record for the first time in over a decade, it's got to be one of those situations where you're like really anxious to get back on the field with this football team.
Oh, absolutely. The off season, you can go through all lifting the weights and running in the summer, but when you get into fall camp and those guys putting the pads on, and they know we were close in a lot of games last year to turning this thing around, and these guys are just chomping at the bits to get after it.
Nicholls is picked to finish 5th in the Southland Conference, but I'd imagine that serves as a bit of motivation for your football team, and maybe the coaches are saying, you got to prove it twice to us.
Absolutely. You know, what you did last year is no guarantee we're going to have any future success, and we talk about that as a team all the time. So, you know, we were 5-4 in the conference. We had some good close games, but we also talk about you have to beat somebody, and you have to beat the teams that's picked ahead of you if you're going to earn that respect.
What's the biggest challenge to being the first team to kick off the season pretty much August 31st against McNeese?
Well, it's a little different for us because the last 2 years we've had an open date the first week, which was really challenging when everybody's getting ready for college football and you're home. So this time we get to play on that first, and we move the game to a Thursday night against a conference opponent is probably going to be the toughest challenge.
When you came in here 3 off seasons ago, priority number 1, changing the culture?
Changing the culture.
How hard was that?
You know what? The kids were starving for something. We talked about that. They want something that they can believe in, something that they can hang their hat on. They bought into us. The seniors that year were fantastic. You know, we finished 3-8. But you can see things were changing and things were on the rise.
Is there a satisfaction that this rebuild has happened because you got all these local young players, Louisiana kids?
Well, I think it does. It starts at the top. You know, there's a commitment from the university, but then, you know, a great coaching staff who's coached in high school. They know all the kids. They know all the coaches. And look, you recruit locally, you put people in the stands, and there's a lot of good football players in this area.
This area, Chase Forcade, their quarterback, nearly 3,000 total offensive yards as a freshman. First off, is that kind of unheard of in this day and age of college football, the guy to come in and be that successful early?
Well, I don't know about that, because now everybody comes in, you're really good high school players and developing, and you get into the right system.
Is this what you expected from him?
Absolutely. When we recruited him, we knew that he had the it factor, something that, you know, this guy, when he walks into the huddle, he commands that huddle in the weight room. The guys respect him. So we knew what he can do, and then look, we threw him in there the first game. His first, you know, we laugh about it all the time. His first college pass at Georgia was an interception, but he stood in there and he came back and had a great year.
Having said that, and look at what he did the first year, how big of a step does he need to take in this sophomore season for him?
Well, it's good. Anytime you have, we were talking earlier, you have an experienced quarterback coming back, it's unbelievable. He has a good cast around him. He had a fantastic offseason. You can just see the maturity level. We talked about in the spring, his first pass he threw. You can see how much stronger he was and what he was doing. But, you know, it's support. We got good guys up front. Got to be able to protect him to have a success.
We always talk about relationships in football, and the longer you're with someone playing with them, the better. Damien Jean-Pierre, receiver, played with him at Rummel.
Right.
Had success with him there, comes back as one of your top receivers again. That relationship really helps him, doesn't it?
Yes, those guys have been throwing together. You know, they always throw in after practice, before practice on the side. And then, you know, the funny thing is we got a guy snapping it to him, Ryan Hanley, who's also a Rummel guy.
Let the Rummel people say that you can never have too many Rummel players on the team. When you look at defense, what's the area that needs to be better for you guys to be successful?
Well, I think where we were really good last year was up front on the defensive line. I think we're going to be there again. We lost a defensive back who's with the Buffalo Bills right now, and BT Sanders, so we need some guys to step up there. But I think we got some quality depth along the defensive front.
What do your players need to expect of themselves this year based on what happened last year, the winning you put together, the almost big win at Georgia, South Alabama? What do you players need to expect for themselves this year?
Well, I think the big thing, you can see it the other day, you know, they want to hold each other accountable. You know, it's a good thing where the coaches don't have to be there, the guys pushing them, doing those things. The defense just the other day, they don't want to line up and run after practice to get some things. So, you know, one of the defensive coaches came to me and says, Coach, I'm not making them do that. So, no, it's on them. So they are really holding each other to a higher level.
Okay, August 31st, when it gets started for Nicholls State, taking on McNeese, coming in to Thibodaux. Best of luck. We appreciate you being with us.
Thanks, Juan. Appreciate it.
We're about to hit the home stretch here on the Final Play. Coming up, we're talking high school football. Which teams are expected to challenge for a state title? That's next. We wrap up tonight's final play with a sneak peek into what promises to be an exciting prep football season. It all kicks off this week with a number of marquee matchups. Once again, here's Garland Gillen.
The transfer of Chandler Fields to Rummel from Holy Cross could change the championship landscape in Division I. St. Paul's found out this past Friday night how dangerous Fields can be in this Raider offense. He racked up 204 yards passing with 3 touchdowns in a 23-7 victory over the Wolves.
I love Rummel. It's just all family, and I love everything about it, from the school, academics, athletics, spiritual life, everything. It's just perfect for me.
A leader, a man of good character. He's always been a hard worker, you know, outside of his schools, and that hasn't changed. I mean, I might give him time to recover and rest, but he's not taking. He's continuing to try to work and get better, and he's made other people want to work with him.
Standing in the Raiders' way for a possible state title, the John Curtis Patriots. The 26-time champions haven't won in the Dome since 2013. The senior class is trying to avoid not winning at all in their 4 years in River Ridge.
I think certainly their goals are to reach a state championship and have an opportunity to compete for it. No, we don't make it an emphasis point. What we want to do is go out and compete every time we go on the field as best we can. We're going to have a highly competitive preseason district games that are going to get us ready for our district play in the Catholic League, and then from there it's the playoffs. So it's a long grind. A lot of things can happen. Stay away from injuries, stay healthy. A lot of times that has effects from year in to year out that the average fan doesn't realize. 5A state champion Landry Walker and Curtis meet this Thursday in an early What Do We Have Here game. One school that lacks a state football title resides at 5300 St. Charles Avenue. De La Salle went all the way to the state semifinals in 2016 and is primed for a run at the Dome this time around. Lutcher is looking for back-to-back state titles, but this march to New Orleans could be tougher than most for the Bulldogs. Dwayne Jenkins' crew moves up to Class 4A in 2017. Down the road, Riverside is also eyeing another state title after winning it all for the first time last year. With your Fox 8 Football Friday preview, I'm Garland Gillen.
And what a first week slate of games we have for you. How about this? John Curtis taking on Landry Walker on Thursday. MAC 35 at St. Aug. Carr on the road at St. Paul's. Destrehan hosts Slidell. De La Salle visiting South Lafourche. And we'll wrap it all up for you on Fox 8 Football Friday, which debuts this week at 10:35 right here on, of course, Fox 8. And that's our show for tonight. For all of us here at Fox 8, I'm Juan Kincaid. We hope you'll join us again next Sunday night for the final play.
From Fox 8 Sports, this has been The Final Play.